state of the market today, and we've touched on it throughout the show already, but as I said earlier, I think coming into September, for example, we saw the market coming in near a 52-week high, and we actually have an S&P 500 chart that would show us that. You'll see here, it's actually a more condensed chart. It's a 6-month chart of the S&P 500, and you'll notice that we did lose some steam in August for the S&P 500. And again, I always use the S&P 500 because it is the largest index in North America. And you'll notice here that in August, we did have a downturn, but towards the end of the month, we picked up again. Coming into September, we were at 52 or just off 52-week highs. The multiples, PE ratio, as I always talk about on this show and other shows, was 18 to 20, which again is historically high. Interest rates were high. Oil prices started to move higher. So we had all the makings of, well, maybe September could be a bit of a down month, especially since we came in on such a high. And we saw that in September. Well, now we're moving into October, and I think it's kind of the opposite. A lot of negativity out there. Oil prices are still high. United States, they have political issues, right? We just saw the speaker be kicked out of his position. We're seeing, interest rates continuing to move higher, slowing of the economy continuing to happen. Right now, everywhere you look, we're seeing negativity. So maybe now it's time to be that contrarian. Maybe it's time to take a look at things because we're coming in at a low point versus a high point into September. We're coming into a low point in October. And as I said earlier, I think we're at a time now where we can look for some sort of catalyst to take us higher. And hopefully that catalyst will be central banks saying that if they are going to raise interest rates, perhaps it's one and done and move on from there. But overall, I think it's a good time to look at being an investor, put money to work, because I think a lot of things have gotten a lot cheaper in the last 6 weeks or so, maybe the last 8 weeks or so. And I think you can find some really good bargains. As I said, I think the state of the market coming into October is at a low point. And I think for those investors that have money to be able to put to work, I think it's time to sharpen that pencil and make that list, because I think now is a time that you could start looking at some of those names.